2,000 milligrams of sodium are sitting on a single plastic tray. That is your entire daily recommended salt limit, packed into one lukewarm meal. Airlines are essentially loading your heart with stress just to keep their profit margins high. Stop. You are being overcharged and underserved. They expect you to hand over $65 for a carry-on bag that, in many circumstances, should be free. The system is rigged against the casual traveler. It is a financial minefield. But you do not have to be a victim. Here are 12 rules to survive the terminal and keep your cash where it belongs. Here is Rule 1 of 12. 20 million Americans are living with hidden disabilities, yet most of them stay trapped in boarding group 5 because they do not understand their rights. Levi, a 58-year-old accountant from Dallas, stood at gate C21 at DFW. His knee was throbbing with a dull, white heat from a recent surgery. He watched the crowd swarm the gate like a mosh pit. Group 1, Group 2. Levi's ticket said Group 5. He knew the overhead bins would be full long before his number was called. He looked at his 25-pound carry-on. He knew the airline would force him to check it. He felt the panic rising. The airline will not tell you this. Under the Air Carrier Access Act, if you need extra time for a physical or even a temporary injury, you can often board early. This is not a secret loophole. It is a standard practice for accessibility. Levi approached the gate agent. He did not demand anything. He simply explained that he had a mobility issue and requested extra time to get settled. The agent scanned his pass immediately. Levi walked down the empty jet bridge in silence. You do not need to show medical records or proof of surgery. Privacy is your power in this situation. Levi saved his joints and secured his bin space, but that is nothing compared to the $100 you might lose without Rule 2. Rule 2 of 12. Stop opening your wallet for that extra carry-on fee right now. Mason, a 31-year-old librarian from Boston, stood at the gate in Milan at MXP. He was exhausted. The agent pointed at his 2 bags and a small black case. "That is 3 items, sir." Mason felt his face flush. The case held his CPAP machine and daily meds. The airline was trying to charge him $65 for a bag that frequently should not even count toward his limit. They hope you do not know the FAA guidelines. Most major carriers do not count qualified medical devices as part of your standard carry-on allowance. Your CPAP, or a bag strictly for medication, is often considered a freebie. If an agent pushes back, remain calm. Tell them clearly that this is a medical device and is exempt from the baggage count. The bag must contain only medical items to qualify for this status. Mason explained this politely. The agent checked the manual and backed down. He boarded for free. You just saved $60. But saving money on bags is useless if you are struggling with a heavy suitcase across 3 miles of airport flooring. That leads us to Rule 3. Rule 3 of 12. Ava, a 24-year-old graphic designer, leaned against her 30-pound suitcase at Copenhagen Airport at CPH. Her shoulders were aching from the long trek between terminals. She was done with the heavy lifting. Most people pay $50 or more to check a bag at the counter just to avoid the hassle. But there is a smarter way to handle this. When Ava reached gate B14, she walked straight to the podium. She asked the agent if they needed volunteers to gate check bags for free. Airlines are often desperate for overhead bin space on full flights. They frequently offer to check carry-ons to your final destination at no cost right at the gate. This saved Ava from wrestling with a heavy suitcase during her tight connection in a massive terminal. Reality check. This is not a 100% guarantee. It works best on packed flights, where bin space is a known issue. The airline will not advertise this because they want your money at the front desk. You saved your back and your budget. But a light bag will not help you if your seatbelt feels like a tourniquet. That is why you need Rule 4. Rule 4 of 12. Have you ever felt that sudden prickling heat in your cheeks when a seatbelt refuses to click? Eleanor, a 46-year-old real estate agent, faced this nightmare at Detroit Metropolitan Airport at DTW. She was in a middle seat, pulling the strap with all her might. It was 3 inches short. Stop holding your breath. It is actually dangerous to fly without a properly fastened belt. The airline will not tell you this, but they have a solution hidden in the overhead bins. Eleanor spent 20 minutes in physical agony before she decided to ask for help. Most people do not realize that every commercial carrier keeps seatbelt extenders on board for safety reasons. You do not need a special permit or a medical note. Simply catch a flight attendant's eye and ask for an extender. It takes 5 seconds to click it in. No more bruised hips, no more embarrassment. While these are common, you usually cannot bring your own for safety certification reasons. Eleanor finally asked, and she enjoyed her flight in comfort. Safety first. You just saved yourself from physical pain. But even a perfect fit won't help when you realize you are paying for water. Rule 5 of 12. A standard airline plastic cup holds barely 4 ounces of liquid once you factor in the ice. That is less than half of a traditional soda can. Caleb, a 39-year-old software developer, sat in seat 24B on his flight out of London at LHR. He watched the flight attendant pour a tiny splash of ginger ale over a mountain of ice. He paid $400 for this ticket. He was thirsty and resigned to the tiny portion. The airline will not tell you this, but they usually have enough stock to give you the entire can if you ask. Stop settling for crumbs. When the cart reaches your row, do not just name your drink. Politely ask if you may have the whole can. In most cases, the crew will say yes. It is a small victory, but when you are 35,000 feet up, it feels like a win. Caleb got his can and finally relaxed. It is a small ask that makes a big difference in your hydration levels. But a soda won't help when your body starts to ache from the cabin pressure. For that, you need Rule 6. Rule 6 of 12. Stop ignoring the throbbing pain in your knees mid-flight. Air travel triggers inflammation like nothing else, and the cramped seats in economy are a breeding ground for joint pain. Take Mia, a 52-year-old pharmacist from Madrid at MAD. 6 hours into her flight, her lower back felt like it was on fire. Her ankles were twice their normal size. She tried stretching, but there was no room to move. The airline will not tell you this, but they have a hidden remedy on board for physical discomfort. Mia hit the call button and asked for a blue bag. Most long-haul flights carry specialized chemical cold compresses for injuries or medical situations. Applying one to your lower back or knees for 15 minutes reduces swelling and numbs the ache instantly. If they are out of the chemical bags, ask for a double-bagged cup of ice. Reality check. Ice is not a permanent cure, but it buys you precious comfort during a 10-hour journey. Joint pain is a test of your endurance. Do not fail it. Mia felt better, but even an ice pack will not help if you are shivering in the dark. Rule 7 of 12. Sophia sat in her seat at Philadelphia at PHL, shivering as the air blasted like an Arctic gale. Most cabins are strictly kept at a bone-chilling 68 degrees Fahrenheit. They are banking on your silence. Cold air keeps passengers quiet and drowsy, which makes the crew's job easier. But Sophia, a 29-year-old journalist, knew the hidden fix. Most planes carry a backup supply of thick, high-quality blankets tucked in the rear galley closets. These are not the thin, scratchy ones you might see on your seat. You have to ask for them. Do not demand. Just inquire if there are any extra wraps reserved for emergencies or special requests. Sophia caught an attendant's eye and asked for a spare. She stayed warm for the entire red-eye flight. Reality check. They will not offer these if you stay silent. Your comfort is your own responsibility. Cold seat, warm secret. But staying warm is easy compared to the chaos you will face when you are looking for a seat upgrade. Rule 8 of 12. Can a $5 gift card or a simple thank you note actually buy you a better seat? Most travelers think a small bribe is the ultimate hack for a free upgrade. It is not that simple. Nora, a 41-year-old financial advisor, found this out at Nice Côte d'Azur Airport at NCE. She was stuck in a cramped middle seat for an 8-hour flight and tried to play the kindness card. She approached the desk with a gift card, hoping for a miracle. The agent barely looked up. Nora was frustrated. The airline will not tell you this, but upgrades are usually governed by strict computer algorithms. Kindness is a tool, not a currency. Instead of a bribe, try timing. Wait until the very end of the boarding process when no-shows are confirmed. Ask specifically for an operational upgrade. If the flight is overbooked in economy but has space in premium, they may move passengers to balance the load. The system is rigged, but an empty premium seat is a wasted asset. Reality check. A gift card might get you a free drink, but rarely a lie-flat bed. Nora stayed in coach, but she learned the value of timing. Rule 9 of 12. 60% of frequent flyers admit that security is the most grueling part of any trip. It is pure adrenaline and stress. When Oliver arrived at Brussels at BRU for his connection, he felt the panic rising. As a 33-year-old data scientist with a hidden medical device, the standard metal detector was a major concern. The lines were long. The clock was ticking toward his departure. The system is rigged against the stressed traveler. They hope you do not know about dedicated support services available for those with medical needs. In the US, it is called TSA Cares, but major hubs like BRU offer similar passenger support specialists. You can often request an advocate to meet you and handle the logistics of the screening process. They walk with you through the entire security checkpoint. Reality check. This is not a shortcut for everyone. It is a resource for those with genuine medical conditions. For Oliver, it turned a crisis into a smooth boarding experience. He made it to his gate with time to spare. But even an escort won't help if your meal is a salt bomb. Rule 10 of 12. Check your tray table before you take that first bite. Jackson, a 63-year-old dentist, sat in his seat at San Francisco at SFO, feeling a wave of anxiety. He had a long-haul flight ahead, and his doctor had warned him about his rising blood pressure. When the cart rolled down the aisle, the attendant offered the classic chicken or pasta. It looks harmless. It is not. Most standard airline meals are packed with salt to compensate for your dulled taste buds at high altitudes. The airline will not tell you this. They hope you do not realize that one tray contains your entire daily recommended salt intake. Sodium is the enemy of your circulatory system. Go into your booking at least 24 hours before takeoff and select a low-sodium special meal. It is free. Jackson realized too late that the salty pasta was a health hazard he did not need. Your health is not their priority. Profit and shelf life are. You just dodged a salt-induced headache. But a healthy heart won't help if your medicine fails. Rule 11 of 12. When Hazel, a 22-year-old fitness trainer, landed at Prague at PRG for her connection, her heart raced. It was 95 degrees outside. Her insulin was getting warm. She rushed onto the plane and begged the flight attendant to put her vial in the galley fridge. The attendant shook her head. "I am sorry, we cannot do that." panic set in. Hazel pictured her life-saving medicine spoiling over the Atlantic. This is where the liability rules hurt the passenger. Airlines generally cannot store your medication in their refrigerators due to legal liability. If that fridge breaks or freezes your meds, the airline is on the hook for a massive lawsuit. They technically are not allowed to touch your medicine. Instead, bring a dedicated cooling pouch. Or, do what the pros do. Ask for a cup of ice and 2 Ziploc bags. Double bag the ice so it does not leak, then tuck your insulin into the middle. This keeps it between 36 and 46 degrees Fahrenheit safely. Hazel got her ice and saved her trip. Don't be a victim. You just saved your medicine, but that is nothing compared to the shock of Rule 12. Rule 12 of 12. Have you ever stared at a cockpit door and wondered what those millions of dollars of tech actually look like? For Isabella, a 36-year-old lawyer from Boston, that door felt like a forbidden barrier. At Baltimore at BWI, she watched a young boy get invited in for a photo. Isabella felt a surge of curiosity. She assumed cockpit tours were strictly for children. She was wrong. The airline will not tell you this, but you do not need to be 7 years old to visit the flight deck. Wait until the flight has landed and the engines are completely off. This is the golden window. Ask the flight attendant if it is possible to say a quick hello to the pilots. If the crew is not rushing for a tight turnaround, they often say yes. Isabella tried this at BWI and spent 3 minutes looking at the incredible avionics. Pilots often love showing off their office to interested adults. Reality check. Safety is always first. If there is a delay or a mechanical issue, they will decline. Isabella got her tour, and it changed her entire perspective on flying. Knowledge is power. If you do not know these rules, the airport will take your money and your comfort every single time. Don't let the airlines win the battle for your wallet. Hit subscribe to keep beating the system and traveling like an insider.